Erikson's 8 Stages of Psychosocial Development. Erikson's stages of psychosocial development. Approximate age, psychosocial crisis or test, virtue develop. Infant to 18 months, trust versus mistrust, hope. 18 months to 3 years, autonomy versus shame or doubt, will. 3 to 5 years, initiative versus guilt, purpose. 5 to 13 years, industry versus inferiority, competency. 13 to 21 years, identity versus confusion, fidelity. 21 to 39 years, intimacy versus isolation, love. 40 to 65 years, generativity versus stagnation, okay. 65 and older, integrity versus despair, wisdom. At Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, identifies 8 stages in which a healthy individual should pass through the birth to death. At each stages, we encounter different needs, ask new questions, and meet people who influence our behavior and learning. Basic trust versus mistrust. As infants, we ask ourselves if we can trust the world and we wonder if it's safe. We learn that if we have trust someone now, we can also trust others in the future. If we experience fear, we develop doubt and mistrust. The key to our development is our mother. In stages 2, autonomy versus shame or doubt. In our early childhood, we experience ourselves and discover our body. We ask if it's okay to be me. If we are allowed to discover ourselves, then we develop self-confidence. If we are not, we can't develop shame and self-doubt. But parents now play a major role. Initiative versus guilt, stages 3. In preschool, we can take initiative, try out new things, and learn basic principles like how round things rule. We ask if it's okay for me to do what I do. If we are encouraged, we can follow our interest. If we are held back or told that we do is silly, we can develop guilt. We are now learning from the entire family. Industry versus inferiority. Now we discover our own interests and realize that we are different from others. We want to show that we can do things right. We ask if we can make it in this world. If we receive recognition from our teachers or peers, we became industrious, which is another word for hardworking. If we get too much negative feedback, we start to feel inferior and lose motivation. Our neighbors and schools now influence us the most. Stages 5. Identity versus rule confusion. Adolescence. During adolescence, we learn that we have different social rules. We are friends, students, children, and netizens, or citizens. Many experience an identity crisis. If our parents now allow us to go out and explore, we can find an identity. If they push us to conform to their views, we can face rules confusion and feel lost. Key to our learning are our peers and role models. Stage 6. Intimacy versus isolation. As young adults, we slowly understand who we are and we start to let go of the relationship we had built earlier in order to fit in. We ask ourselves if we can love, If we can make a long-term commitment, we are confident and happy. If we cannot form intimate relationship, we might end up feeling isolated and lonely. Our friends and partners are now central to our development. Generativity versus stagnation, adulthood. When we reach our 40s, we become comfortable, use our leisure time, creativity, and maybe begin contributing to society. Our concern is generativity. If we think that we are able to lead the next generation into this world, we are happy. If we did not resolve some conflicts earlier, we can become pessimistic and experience stagnation. People at home and at work are now who influence us more. The number 8 stages and the last, ego integrity versus despair maturity. As we grow older, we tend to slow down and begin to look back over our lives. We ask, how have I done? If we think we did well, we've developed feelings of contentment and integrity. If not, we can experience despair and become grumpy and bitter. Time to compare us with mankind. Erik Erikson was a German-American psychologist who, together with his wife Joanne, became known for his work on psychosocial development. He was influenced by Sigmund and Anna Freud and became famous for coining the phrase identity crisis. Although Erikson lacked even a bachelor degree, he served as a professor at Harvard and Yale. Erikson maintained that personality develops in a predetermined order through 8 stages of psychosocial development, from infancy to adulthood. During each stage, the person experiences a psychosocial crisis, which could have a positive or negative outcome for personality development.